All right, FBG fam. So we have version 2.10 investment guide out officially. I'm actually late to this, but it is what it is. We're here now, and this is the one with the brand new Espizembo, the modifier I'm most anticipating and excited about. Now, I've been hearing she is T1, but we're going to see for ourselves here on this list, and I'll have this linked in the description down below for you to check out on your own at your own leisure. With that being said, we're going to take a look at the list, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at some teams that they recommend. So if you're a new player to Aether Gazer, hopefully this brings you some value, and I do hope you enjoy nonetheless. Let's go ahead and hop in. Now, we did version 2.9 not too long ago, so we're going to go through this pretty quickly because I can't imagine much has changed. We have Ling Wang, Izanami, and Hera in T0. Understandable, we have the two best supports in the game, and then we have Izanami, the best DPS in the game. Jinwoo at 0.5, which is where she was at in version 2.9. I mentioned this last time. I think this is pretty negligible. I don't think it makes a huge difference, but it is what it is. We have Gung Chen and Ji Ming in T1. Makes sense. Moving on from there, we have Scotty with the glow up, right? With the synchro buff, T1, if not T3, and the other things in place. We talked about that before. Corrupted Kagasuchi in T1. We have Tsukuyomi in T1. Was she T1 last time? Let me double check. I'm not entirely too sure. Version 2.9. Was she in T1 last time? No, I think she was in T2. This was a buff. Yeah, that is nice to see for Tsukuyomi, and that obviously plays into the Espizembo, the ultimate skill chain, the trio chain, so that makes a lot of sense that we see right here. Tsukuyomi going to T1. That is awesome for my Tsukuyomi mains. Now, with that also being said, Meng Zheng in T1. We have Ying Zhao in T1, who's going to be coming out in global here, hopefully relatively soon. So we're going to be looking forward to that. And then we have Espizembo, the brand new Bizembo in T1. This is really awesome to see. Obviously, you're going to be pairing her with Tsukuyomi for the most part in terms of a team comp. And so it's good to see that both of them are T1 popping off. You'll love to see it. I love Espizembo. I played with her. I have a showcase. I'll probably have linked at the end of this video for you to check out. She is phenomenal. She is a lot of fun. We have Mitsuha at T1, the ice support for that team. And then we have Sakura T1 with the synchro buff and, you know, all the good stuff. We have Lu Liang T1, and obviously because she's the best wind support, so it's really nice to see Lu Liang in T1, worth the investment. We have Aether in T2. Was Aether T2 in the version 2.9? Yeah, she was T2 in version 2.9. So we have Aether in T2, and that's of course most likely with their synchro buff and things of that nature. We have Jinei in T2. We have I forgot his name for a second because they skipped him on Flame Tier in T2, my man. I'm telling you, I didn't forget you. I know you're coming soon, hopefully in global. And then we have Lu Wu T2. Was she T2 in version 2.9? Lu Wu? No, she was T1. Hold on, she was T1 and everything else was the same. So she bumped down to T2. And so there was some changes here. Hold on, we had a bit of a shakeup for version 2.10. Okay, that's interesting to see. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think T2 is pretty. It's actually I think a better placing than T1 in my opinion, just from experience using her. Now I didn't use her in optimal scenarios, but I didn't feel like she was a T1 modifier. I felt like she was a T2 modifier, if I'm being honest, like 100% transparent. And I love her design, I love her gameplay, but she felt like a T2 modifier to me. And that seems more correct there. Hades T2, Arctic Abyss Poseidon T2. We have Thor T2, Hell T2. Now Athena's interesting because T2, obviously with the synchro buff, without T4, which is absurd. I don't think she's I don't think she belongs with S-Shu without all of that in place. But T2 with the synchro buff, and then she should be getting, we'll see here relatively soon, a nice support for physical, and that's probably going to bump her up to T1, maybe even T0.5. We'll have to wait and see. Asura T2, I believe, with the glow up as well. We have Light Tier T3, Oceanus, Anubis, Flame Kagasuchi, Leviathan, Mardusi, all in T3, which is understandable. These two, if they get a synchro buff, I think they're definitely going to bump up a lot. Even Flame Kagasuchi. Marduk as well. I can see all of these bumping up with the synchro buff, obviously, but specifically Marduk, Anubis, Oceanus, really can see them get a nice buff. And then Flame Kagasuchi for sure. Leviathan is just a solid healer, very comfortable pick. And then S-Shu T4, she needs the glow up, and I think she's going to be getting the next glow up probably, maybe. We'll have to wait and see, but she desperately needs it. And I think if they do a glow up for her, sorry if you guys heard that, if they do a glow up for her, I think she's going to be absolutely busted, but we'll have to wait and see. Or just a brand new S shoe, right? A different S shoe. I wouldn't be too mad about that. Anyways, moving over to the teams that you can put together, obviously we have the meta teams here that we've talked about before, and then we have the S Bazembo team, and that's just the trio ult chain with Tsukiyomi and Jinne. This team, I mean, that trio ult chain is a work of art. To put it simply, it is a work of art. So that is what they recommend for the S Bazembo team, and once again, that just makes sense, right? Moving over to the other teams that we have here, Jiming, Gongchen, Ling Wang, really nice team. I've talked about this team before, excited about that one. Meng Zheng team you have here, definitely a really good team. And then we have the Luwu, Gongchen, and the Ling Wang team, very nice. We have the Thor Aucer team with Lu Liang that you can make now over on Global, so it's nice to see that one. And then this team is one that we're going to be able to make relatively soon with Ying Zhao, Ling Wang, and Lu Liang. Now, I always wondered why they had Ling Wang here. Obviously for the universal buffing with the red Aether code, but also they put her here probably for the shield also. The shield is going to be very beneficial for not only Lu Liang because of, you know, her follow-up attacks. You're kind of stationary, so you can get hit a lot, but also Ying Zhao being a brawler up in the face, having a shield is going to be nice for her not to take damage. So that makes sense. But what I would also try here is Gongchen. I think Gongchen would be really nice. Obviously, not getting maybe as much buffing in the shield, but you do get the CC and the knockup, so the enemies are being, you know, taken care of. Like, they're not going to be able to attack you. And then the Tianwan Gen Zone buffs and all that good stuff with their signature functor. The utility there, I could see the supporting capabilities for this team if you insert Gongchen, but obviously the meta and the optimal is probably having Ling Wang there, right? Makes sense. And then moving on from there, we have the other teams here. So, yeah, a bit of it was more of a shakeup than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest with you. We had a bit of a shakeup here, which is nice to see. I like to see movement within the investment guide. But keep in mind, T1, T2, still solid, right? Solid for T2, especially if you really like that modifier, like that's your modifier, then T2 is still a solid pickup and worth investing. T1 is like, they're good. They're good to go. They're going to do work. They're going to perform very well for you. And then you have T 0.5 and 0 obviously are meta. Those are the ones that you're really focusing on and bringing home. So anyways, once again, I hope this video was helpful. Hope you got some value from it. Once again, massive shout out to the individuals that make this. It's always nice to see this every patch, and I'll leave it linked in the description down below once again. And I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. You call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.